The championship decider is here. Hello everybody and welcome to round 14 of the TCR Europe Championship in 2023 here at the circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Yesterday we set the scene for what should be an historic day of racing here in Spain. Kobe Powell's race victor in the opening race of the weekend closes the lead of the championship to Tom Coronel to just 8 points. Between Powell's and Coronel, both aiming for their first championship in touring car races, we have but 12 laps, separating the fine margins between success and failure for both of these drivers, hungry to take the points, hungry to take the applause and the plaudits of the fans at home and trackside to become champion in what has been a very exciting, drama-filled year of touring car racing here in TCR Europe. We are absolutely delighted to welcome you along. If you're going to watch any motor race this year, let it be this one. We are set fair for an incredible festival of touring car racing. The drivers are already on the grid. The final few preparations are taking place before we go motor racing for the very last time this season. The circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, as we well know, is a very impressive facility for touring car racing at 4.675 kilometres in length, 14 corners. 32 years this circuit has been in operation. We came here to finish our season last year, and we're back again in the Spanish sunshine. But it is worth bearing in mind the temperatures are significantly lower than we have seen at any stage this weekend, so grip will be at a premium. Grip at a premium for one man in particular will be the man that you've just seen on your screen, Ruben Volt. Thanks to the reverse grid layout that we have in TCR Europe, we'll start this one from pole position. Why is that important, I hear you say? So if you go all the way back to 10th and 9th place, that's where our championship contenders will start. Tom Coronel, 10th on the grid. Kobe Powell's 9th on the grid. They've got 8 cars in front of them in which to find a way past over these next 12 laps while squabbling for a championship of their very own. Daniel Kishenko will be starting this race from 2nd on the grid. His best result this season is a 7th place, achieved here at Barcelona in race 1 yesterday afternoon. Kishenko will be looking for a good way to end his year, his first year of touring car racing for Volcano Motorsports, first year in TCR Europe, the young driver looking to put a solid result in the bank. Victor Davidovsky, he's another driver that we've seen much of in recent seasons of TCR Europe. He's currently 4th in the championship standings. Davidovsky having his sole podium finish last race weekend at Monza in Italy. Davidovsky will be looking to do big things from 3rd on the grid, potentially one of the drivers to keep our eye on as the race unfolds, assuming our championship challengers don't make their way through from down on 10th. Levente Lasonche, another driver that we have seen incredible speed from, but the Hungarian not quite managing to convert that into the big results that he and aggressive Team Italia know that they can achieve in that Hyundai Elantra N TCR. Lasonche, 2 9th place finishers at Paul Ricard, and yesterday here at Barcelona, he'll be hoping for more from this race. 4th on the grid, puts himself in a good position to move forward. And this is our starting grid. Ruben Volt on pole position, Daniel Kishenko alongside him on the front row. Victor Davidovsky in 3rd, Levente Lasonche in 4th position. Nico Baldan starts from 5th. He's looking for a win today. Victor Anderson for MAGP, 6th on the grid. Lewis Brown, 7th position in the Come To You racing machine alongside teammate and outside championship rival John Philippi in 8th. Kobe Powell's 2nd in the championship, 9th on the grid. Alongside him, main rival Tom Coronel in 10th. Pepe Oriola, returning this weekend to TCR Europe, will be 11th. Ruben Fernandez for company in 12th position. And at the back of the grid is Mauro Questamacchia, the team principal of Aggressive Team Italia, also behind the wheel of that Hyundai Elantra N TCR for this weekend. Came home in last position in race 1, but with valuable experience under his belt in the car in racing conditions, the Italian driver has aspirations of moving further up the field over the course of these next 12 laps. As you can see, the crowd are ready to go racing. The cars are not far away now. The grid is starting to be cleared so we can go motor racing. But just bear in mind what I mentioned at the top of the show. Temperature and atmospheric conditions are significantly lower today than we've seen at any point over the course of this weekend. It's been pleasantly warm here in Spain, around 22 degrees track temperature yesterday. Much colder. We're racing much earlier in the day. The sun has really not had the opportunity to beat down onto the tarmac, and that's going to present a different experience for these drivers. We're going into a little bit of a voyage of discovery, and of course the layout at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya has changed as well, courtesy of the reprofiling and retarmacking of the final few corners. So it's a little bit of an unknown for these drivers. Throw into the mix the likes of Coronel, Pauls, and as an outside bet, John Philippi as well, fighting for a championship, fighting from the 10th, 9th and 8th positions on the grid in this race. Mix all those ingredients together and you bake yourself a very exciting motor race indeed. This is going to be the last 12 laps of the year, and arguably, most certainly in fact, the most intense, the most high profile and the most pressurized laps of these drivers here today. So before we get racing, let's take a quick look at those championship standings. As mentioned, Tom Coronel is our championship leader. 8 points is the advantage he has over Kobe Pauls. The only other driver mathematically in contention is John Philippi, 35 points adrift of our championship leader. There are 40 points up for grabs. Philippi has one job: win the race and hope issues befall his two teammates. Very much an outsider in this championship fight. But this is touring cars, we've got a reverse grid. Absolutely anything can happen, and more often than not, it usually does. So Philippi still very much in the hunt, but realistically speaking, eyes firmly trained on Coronel and Pauls. Coronel will start in 10th, Kobe Pauls just ahead in 9th position. Two very different drivers, very different levels of experience. Coronel, of course, a veteran, a fan favourite of touring car racing, 30 plus years of motorsport experience under the Dutchman's belt, versus 18-year-old, 19 tomorrow, Kobe Pauls, in his first year of touring car racing, his first year of circuit racing, having transitioned from the world of World Rallycross. Very different experience, very different ways of going about racing, but one thing that bonds them together, one thing that is identical amongst the two: incredibly quick touring car drivers, both looking for their first touring car championship, their first TCR Europe title, and going about it very different ways indeed. Coronel, very much the championship favourite coming into the year, took an early championship lead, has gone on there, has kept an eye on the championship challenge, scored points, played the game, been very clever and strategic in the way he's gone about the season. Look to maximise results versus carrying compensation weight. He's taken two race victories this season, whereas Kobe Pauls, a little bit less experienced, everything's a bit newer to him, has gone out there and attacked 6 victories, including yesterday afternoon here at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. He has the upper hand in terms of race wins, but the consistency, the tenacity, the never say die attitude, the make no mistakes driving of Tom Coronel, given him less wins, but most important of all, have given him more points. That 8-point cushion could be critical in this race, depending on where the drivers finish on track. If Coronel finishes directly behind Kobe Pauls, he'll be champion, regardless of where they finish. The point spread, there is not the 8-point gap position to position in our championship standings. So Coronel can play it safe. He can follow his Belgium teammate through, hope for no dramas, hope to not get wrapped up in other people's excitement, or he can go for glory. He can make the move, he can be aggressive into T1, try and work his way through the field, take the destiny out of the hands of others. How Coronel's going to play that one will be one of the most fascinating aspects of this race. And for Kobe Pauls, the other end of the spectrum, he's got to beat Coronel. He's got to put cars between himself and the Dutch driver. So there is nothing for Kobe Pauls to do other than sharpen those elbows, make sure you've got a heavy right foot, and go for it during this race. You always say the last race is the one that you remember the most, and this race has got to carry all of these drivers through the winter until we restart again in 2024. Big opportunity for each and every one of the stars of TCR Europe to shine very, very brightly here in Spain for the very last time this year. As we can see on our screen, the formation lap has begun. A little bit of housekeeping for anybody new to the world of TCR Europe and TCR touring cars in general. We'll do a formation lap, we'll line up on the grid. It will be a standing start, the lights will go red. When they go out, we will have 12 laps of racing. Should we require a safety car intervention during the course of this race, it is enshrined within our regulations that we can extend the race distance to a maximum of 14 laps. Let's hope we don't get to that point. We want a clean, fair, and overall very exciting final to what has been a different, an exciting, and interesting, a dramatic year of racing in TCR Europe. And it all comes down to this. 6 months, 7 rounds, Portimao, Pau, Spa-Francorchamps, Hungaroring, Paul Ricard, Monza, and now Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya to decide the title. All the pressure sits on the shoulders of these two men, Tom Coronel and Kobe Pauls. There we go. And it'll not be the last time we see those two cars nose to tail, I am absolutely certain, during the course of this race. The pressure to try and understand the weight of expectation that must sit on the shoulders of those two drivers going in to this race is just incredible. But they are so laid back, they're professional drivers, very relaxed. You wouldn't be able to tell talking in the paddock. But outside of the car is one thing, and then when you get in that car, the visor comes down, race mode is enabled. And this is where it all counts. Every bit of work done during the off-season, during the year, the fight for sponsorship, for budget, put yourself in the best team you can, the best car you can, the work that you do over the weekend, the testing, the development, the concentration, the effort from yourself and a whole armada of people that work for the team, all comes down to this last 12 laps. Everything you've done up to this point is merely preparation. In fact, I am looking out of my commentary box window. Here's something dramatic before we even start. Kobe Pauls is in pit lane. Kobe Pauls is heading down pit lane. Quite why? What's happening there, I am not sure. Pit lane is closed, of course, for the start of the race. I'm just trying to stretch my neck to see if he's going into his box. Yes, he is. We'll come back to that one in a moment, though, because for the last time in 2023, TCR Europe Racing is go at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Slow start for Ruben Volt on pole position. That opens the door for Daniel Kachenko to be unimpeded for the run down into T1. There is Kachenko on the left-hand side of the field. We can just see Nico Baldan trying to find a way past Victor Davidovsky. To the outside line is Lewis Brown as well. Brown to the outside of Levente Lasonche. Lasonche runs a little bit deep. Contact between the two cars. John Philippi all the way around the outside. Tom Coronel now is side by side as well. Further contact. That is Philippi and Lasonche rubbing door handles with each other further down the running order. There is Kobe Pauls with the bonnet up on the front of that car. That is the end of Kobe Pauls' championship charge. I fear that car may be able to get back out again, but Tom Coronel will be well aware of the opportunity, the absolute gift that's been awarded the Dutch driver Coronel, staying out of trouble just behind teammate Lewis Brown. There is the aggressive Team Italia car having a nibble at the back of his rear bumper. But for Daniel Kachenko, this is opportunity of the highest order to lead the race for the first time this season. Can the Volcano Motorsport driver convert that one into a win? Ruben Volt will have something to say about that, I am absolutely sure, as we take a look at Pepe Oriola in 10th position. Oriola, great to see him back in TCR Europe, throws the car to the inside of Victor Anderson. Anderson has the line covered. Meanwhile, Coronel sneaks past Lewis Brown to gain a position, move himself into 6th place in the number 34. Very much the man in the pound seats. There is Oriola running a little bit deep. That encourages teammate Ruben Fernandez to have a look at the Spanish driver, but Fernandez thinks better of it, allows his teammate, his team leader, the opportunity to have some clean start. So, race control, start under investigation, and there you go. That is why Daniel Kichenko got such a good start, because he was in a different race altogether and accelerated. That will be a time penalty, I'm absolutely sure, as Nico Baldan now looks one way, looks the other at Victor Davidovski. The two come to you cars as one into T1. Baldan runs out of racetrack, has to go to the escape road, slots back in behind the Macedonian driver to have another go at that one. Nico Baldan not quite in a position to make an attack, and there is John Philippi behind, trying to buy into this fight as well. Here is Baldan again, attempt number 2. This time Davidovski runs a little bit deep into the corner, makes himself vulnerable. Baldan can get alongside, but Davidovski has the inside line. Baldan has the ability on the brakes, so gets the car all crossed up. Nico Baldan very aggressive, but it didn't pay off. That allows Tom Coronel now to find himself in the heart of this battle. Coronel, can he make the position stick? Yes, he can. Good pass by Coronel. He now is released to have a challenge on John Philippi, and there we go at the top of your screen. As expected, Daniel Kichenko drive-through penalty for a jump start, which was very clear at the start of this race, and it's a shame for Kichenko. He's going to dive down pit lane, and Ruben Volt will inherit that race lead within the next couple of laps. Here is Lewis Brown now trying to find a way around the outside of Baldan. Baldan runs him out of racetrack, as is his right. Good bit of driving from the Italian there, just to force his British teammate wide, give him no room to find a way past. That allows Levente Lasonche to buy into this one as well. Lasonche, for good measure though, has Victor Anderson in the bright orange MAGP Lincoln Co machine, the only Lincoln Co in TCR Europe this season. Anderson shown great pace, but just not enough to convert it into a result so far. And at the bottom of your screen, there are the provisional points if things stay as they are. Coronel will be champion, 29 points to the good of the desperately unfortunate Kobe Powles down pit lane. And real shame for the Belgian driver to have that destiny taken out of his hands so early in the race. And Powles, we absolutely know, is a future multiple touring car champion, and no matter, I said this to him at the start of the weekend, irrespective of what happens, he's had a season to be mighty proud of, and the Belgian driver will no doubt be disappointed, but in the winter months can reflect on a job very well done indeed. So as you can see on your screen, battle for third position. This will soon become second when Kichenko jumps down pit lane. Victor Davidovski is currently the man that holds the advantage, although he went a little bit deep there into the chicane. That's put him under pressure now from John Philippi. Philippi trying to find a way past in the 27, and there's Coronel and a backup shot as well. Nico Baldan using all the racetrack and a little bit more for good measure as the three Conti cars almost as one. Davidovski on the defensive, that's going to push him deep. Philippi gets the switch bike, wham bam, thank you man. Nice overtake there from John Philippi, set that one up in advance of the corner, and Philippi is through into third position, which will become second when Kichenko jumps down pit lane to serve that drive-through penalty. Tom Coronel now following teammate Victor Davidovski. They've been teammates for a while now. They know each other very well. Coronel knows where the strengths and the weaknesses of Victor Davidovski lie. And now this is a good run down the start-finish straight. So hard to follow in these cars, the final two corners. But Coronel has the slipstream, went to the outside, now throws the car back to the inside, to the outside again. Davidovski covers the line. Coronel late on the brakes, follows his teammate through, side by side. He has the inside. Now that becomes the outside for the ever-long right-hander at Renault. Can Tom Coronel hold on to that position? just about now, switches back to the inside again. Victor Davidovski does not know which wing mirror to look through, but Coronel gets it done now. I think the Dutchman has the advantage. Davidovski on the outside line, still holding on though. The Macedonian driver, massively brave. A little bit of contact between the teammates as well. Davidovski cuts back across the nose of Coronel. That spits the number 11 out into the gravel. You never want to see teammates coming together. Coronel and Davidovski, contact between the two. Further back, Nico Balban and Lewis Brown almost painted together as one. And sadly, a day at the beach in Barcelona is not what Victor Davidovski wanted, but that is what he's got with 4 laps on the books. That car is stranded, and I fear we'll be having a safety car intervention. So there we go again. Davidovski in the lead of the pack. Coronel trying to switch the car to the inside, makes so light contact with the big back of the number 11, but that sends Victor Davidovski into the gravel, and that gives us a few moments to take stock as the safety car is called onto the circuit to clear away Victor Davidovski's Audi RS3 LMS come-to-you machine. Okay, we can breathe, we can have a sip of whatever beverage that we've got for choice. A cup of tea, I'm sure, is the beverage of choice. And let's take stock of where we are in the overall race with 4, almost 5 laps on the book. Daniel Kachenko is our race leader, but as we saw, that was gained through an illegal race start. In fact, we'll come back to that one. Let's take another look at this. It's a shame we can't see from a different angle. I'm not quite sure how close together the two cars were, but that very much looks like a mild misjudgment there from Coronel, trying to switch back to the inside line. The front of his come-to-you machine not clear of the rear of Victor Davidovski's, and off Victor goes. So Coronel may well be facing the wrath of some steward action during the course of this race. I'm sure they're reviewing that one right now. But Coronel, 4th position on the track, 3rd position, and that will become when Kachenko peels down pit lane for that drive-through penalty. And in effect, Ruben Volt is our race leader from John Philippi. Coronel will be in 3rd position, Baldan 4th, Lewis Brown in 5th place. Remember, Lewis was spat off the racetrack by Ruben Volt in race 1, so he finished down classified in 12th position. We're looking for a much better result with Lewis Brown in this race. Victor Anderson 7th on track, 6th when we lose Kachenko. Lasonche will be 7th. Oriola works his way into 8th place from Ruben Fernandez in 9th. Guesnomakia is in 10th position once Kachenko serves that drive-through. And sadly, Kobe Powell's and Victor Davidovski look like their day is done. And in the case of Kobe Powell's, barring some kind of massively dramatic dramas, I'm afraid the young man's championship charge comes to a premature conclusion. So, safety car still on track. We saw briefly the clearing of Victor Davidovski's machine. The snatch vehicle will be out, dragging that car from the Barcelona gravel, and a good opportunity to give a big shout out to the Orange Army. Always fantastic to see the marshals at work, and there is Victor Davidovski. The car's back up and running again. Plenty of stones for good measure deployed on the racing line. That'll be a surprise to a few of the drivers, but it's good that Victor Davidovski has got the car running again. And obviously, if he can finish the race and be classified, then that is points as we pay points, paying places all the way down to 15 in TCR Europe. And Davidovski is currently embroiled in a championship battle for 4th place with Lewis Brown, Victor Anderson, and Nico Balban behind. Timing screen still says 12 laps, although that will extend, of course, to a maximum of 14, courtesy of this safety car intervention. We're not too worried about tyre life here. The temperatures in Spain are a little bit lower than we've been used to. Should be absolutely fine to push these cars to their limit throughout the course of this race. Of course, the teams as well fuel the cars up sufficiently for the potential of a safety car. And there we go, as I speak, that's moved up to 14 laps. Start lap 6 of 14. When this safety car comes in, Daniel Kachenko will have to dive down pit lane almost immediately to serve that drive-through. If he doesn't serve it quick enough, that will be converted into a disqualification. So Kachenko needs to keep a very, very, very firm eye on making sure he gets in pit lane and gets that one served. And worst case scenario, this safety car for Daniel Kachenko, because it bunches the field up, which makes it even more painful to trundle down pit lane at the pit lane speed limit. He will obviously drop to the back of the grid, but even worse than that one, even worse than being at the back of the field, there'll be a lot of fresh air between himself and the next car that's running, which will be Victor Davidovski. Safety car lights still flashing on the top of our safety vehicle here at Barcelona. Hopefully that will change very soon. And let's have a look at our new provisional championship standings. And look at that. Coronel, we know. John Philippi will move into second position. Powles will drop to third. Davidovski will hold on to that fourth place from Lewis Brown. And Nico Baldan will stay in contention, but a little bit further away in sixth position. So that could be, he's got into this weekend, has Kobe Powles, as a man with aspirations of being a champion. And if things stay as they stand, third place will be very, very disappointing indeed. Alongside, of course, the rookie trophy, which he has already secured, or pretty much has secured, for drivers that are rookies in the world of TCR Europe and touring car racing. So the safety car will be in this lap, folks. We had a momentary pause, gave us a chance to have a little breather. Let's go motor racing again. Safety car will peel off as we approach the final corner, and then it'll be down to Daniel Kachenko to dictate the pace of this field. To get the launch the first time, he will have launched in a safety car at the front of the grid. And there is the Volcano machine just slowing the field up behind. He'll dictate when to accelerate. Ruben Volt will be very keen indeed to stay close to that Audi. Not to make an overtake, he knows that's a slam dunk, but to try and keep John Philippi behind. And here we go, we're racing again at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya as we begin lap 7 of 14. Kachenko leads the field away. Ruben Volt in second position. John Philippi on his tippy toes in third place. He sniffs a good result as Volt goes defensive. Look at him checking the mirrors. He has the inside line. He almost thinks about finding a way past Kachenko. And John Philippi, ever the hunter, in the background. Kachenko goes for the long lap penalty, it seems like, in the MotoGP parlance. That's put him very, very wide indeed. This is an opportunity for Volt and everybody behind to find a way past. Kachenko on the dirty line, the tyres are dirty, the grip's absolutely disappeared. Kachenko goes heavily defensive from Coronel, and Ruben Volt now takes over at the front of the field. John Philippi trying to squeeze his nose to the inside line. The Estonian driver Ruben Volt knows how to get the elbows out, fresh off of race victory in the Monza round, and he's got a lot of work to do to keep a fired up John Philippi behind. Kachenko holds on to that third place then after the off-track excursion in T1. Coronel is the next man down the road trying to find a way past, but painted to the back of Tom Coronel is Nico Baldan, the Italian, hungry to take a victory away if possible this season. Baldan 4 second places, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He wants to put that one right if he possibly can at Barcelona, and there he has a look to the inside, but Lewis Brown around the outside. Lewis Brown takes the advantage, has the outside line, but there is Nico Baldan, goes for a sneaky switchback, trying to find a way past Coronel, and all of a sudden now finds himself under pressure from Lewis Brown as well. So can the English driver find a way past? Yes, he can. And Victor Anderson thinks, hey boys, this looks like a lot of fun, I'll have a piece of this one myself. So Victor Anderson now is buying into the fight in the MAGP Lincoln Co. and gets the job done. Kachenko there is serving the drive-through penalty at long last, and this is why. Watch the lights, the movement already, and then a second movement, acceleration long before the red lights extinguish, and that is a slam dunk, as you're going to see at the front of the field. So Kachenko will now drop all the way to the back of this field. Ruben Volt is our race leader from John Philippi. Tom Coronel in third position from Lewis Brown. Victor Anderson, courtesy of that very impressive overtake, moves up into fifth ahead of Nico Baldan. Lasonche currently in seventh position from Oriola. And then Fernandez, in fact, as I say that one, Oriola off screen, finds a way past and moves up into that seventh position. So Pepe Oriola continuing what has been a very impressive weekend of racing on his return to TCR Europe and debut for the RC2 team in that luminous yellow Audi RS LMS TCR. 8 laps of 14 in the book then, folks. Ruben Volt, and unlikely, based on the pace in qualification and free practice, did not expect the Honda to be quite so competitive, but courtesy of the reverse grid, started from pole position. Now Kachenko has removed himself from contention. Ruben Volt is very much in the pound seats. Can John Philippi find the pace that has been lacking, it's fair to say, this weekend in Philippi's machine, and see if he can try and get himself in contention for a race victory to round out the year? Coronel currently serenely looking to be on his way to his first TCR Europe, first touring car championship victory. Holds on to third position ahead of this little squabble between Brown and Anderson. This is where the drama is now. Victor Anderson kicks the dirt up on the inside of the final corner, leaving absolutely nothing on the table in that Lincoln Co. Victor Anderson knows this is a good opportunity to get a strong result for MAGP to close out what's been a very, very solid 2023 season. And remember, Victor Anderson has made his way into touring cars from open wheel competition, USF 2000 in the United States. He's come over back to Europe, got himself in a family-run MAGP, Matthias Anderson Grand Prix team, brought in the Generation 1 Lincoln Co. and has performed very, very nicely indeed. Another driver that, make no mistake, will be a name at the top of timesheets in touring car racing for a long time to come, alongside the no doubt absolutely dejected Kobe Powells. The future of touring car racing, people, not the future, it's the right here and right now, and that is Kobe Powells, Victor Anderson, Ruben Volt as well, another very, very young man, a teenager at 17 years of age, but already belying their lack of years on this earth to become very established and very impressive touring car drivers. So 9 of 14 laps in the books. Ruben Volt still leads this one by 0.5 of a second from John Philippi. Philippi stays shadowing the ALM Motorsport Honda driver ahead, but not quite in a position to challenge just yet. Further down the running order, there is Ruben Fernandez and Victor Davidovski. Davidovski on the recovery, courtesy of that little spin. Although Victor Davidovski's fighting amongst themselves, he's actually a lap in arrears, so Davidovski trying to get himself back. Well, basically he's trying to have a bit of fun, enjoy a motor race for the last time. Nothing he can really do about making that lap back up again. Now it's all about having a nice race, trying to extract some pace from the car and just sign off the year in the best way possible with a positive experience behind the wheel. Look back now at Victor Anderson. Look at the movement of that Lincoln Co machine behind Lewis Brown. Victor Anderson, he's got that car dancing underneath him. It was lightning fast in FP1 and FP2, really always in or around the top 2 positions in the timesheets. We know there's pace in that car. We know Victor Anderson knows how to race, and now he kept the car nice and tight. He has the inside line. Anderson gets the pass done. Great move there from Victor Anderson up into 4th position. Beautiful move by the bright orange machine past Lewis Brown, and now he's got 4 laps to find a way to close in and challenge Coronel ahead to be in contention for a podium position, as we're seeing Pepe Oriola in 7th place. Levente Lasonche has decided now's the time to have a charge as well, so Lasonche showing great pace in the 264, mirroring Pepe Oriola, but looking the more stable of the 2 cars, it has to be said. The Audi versus the Hyundai, currently in 7th and 8th position. Lasonche 2 9th places to his name this season. At the moment he's trending for his best result of the year, but he'll want more. I am absolutely sure. You can smell the fuel of Pepe Oriola's car, and he's got 4 laps to find a way past that day-glow machine and take himself a well-earned 7th place on the racetrack. Oriola employing slightly different lines towards the top part of the racetrack. Both seem equally effective. So difficult in a touring car to follow through these last couple of corners. The downforce gets taken away. You start to wash out to the outside of the circuit, but Levente Lasonche doesn't seem to be bothered too much about that on this occasion, and now has a very nice slipstream for the long run down into T1 at the front of the field. John Philippi, slightly less powerful slipstream at the front of the field, continues to mirror Ruben Volt, and Tom Coronel continues on his merry way on the bottom step of the podium, but more importantly, trending towards scoring the points he needs to become a TCR Europe 2023 champion. Ruben Volt still in this race lead. Remember, 17 years of age is Ruben Volt. He's already got a race victory to his name in the wet-dry mixed conditions of Monza, where the Honda was lightning fast, it has to be said. Another victory in the books. The last race of the season as well will do wonders for ALM Motorsport, wonders for Honda in general as well, as this is a new car to TCR in 2023. It's already won on the world stage. It's already won in TCR Europe as well. So a real confidence boost. We're all concerned if they can carry this performance through to the checkered flag. And it will be a confidence boost for both of these drivers, whomever comes out at top. But at this moment in time, Pepe Oriola looks a little bit more uncomfortable in that RC2 car. It's moving around a little bit more underneath the Spanish driver, and Lasonche looks like he's the man that has a more compliant vehicle coming in to the closing embers of this race and the dying embers of the 2023 season. Warning flag for car 293 for abusing track limits inside of T13. That is Guestamacchia, currently in 10th position on his first weekend with TCR Europe, so he'll have to be a little bit more careful, otherwise the wrath of the stewards will be upon him over the last couple of laps of this race. As we head down once again on the back straight, Lewis Brown deciding he might want to defend the inside line from Nico Baldan, just covers off the Italian racer. Pepe Oriola, no such moves on this occasion, confident in his ability to stop that Audi quicker than Lasonche behind. But Lasonche, look at the body language difference of these two cars. Oriola's machine using all the racetrack, slipping and sliding over the circuit. Lasonche very calm, Alan Prost-esque, very cool, calm, collected. Behind the wheel is the Hungarian driver in this race. Looks to be working much less aggressively than Oriola. Which of those two styles will pay out come the checkered flag? We will find out. But at this moment in time, Lasonche looks the calmer, but Pepe Oriola has the all-important track position, and possession is 2/10 of the law. You have to get up very early in the morning to find a way past Pepe Oriola on a racetrack, especially in front of his home crowd. So this one's good now, folks. Take a look at this one. Victor Anderson has gobbled up that second and a half disadvantage he had to Tom Coronel, made his way past Lewis Brown a couple of laps ago, and now Victor Anderson is glued to the rear of the number 34. A little flash of the lights that we saw there. 4th position at Monza is the best result this season for Victor Anderson. He would dearly love to round out the year with a trophy and a podium placement. Coronel will be keen to secure the championship on the podium at Barcelona, but he's also a very, very intelligent racer and will know there is nothing to be gained from fighting hard with Victor Anderson. Of course, he won't give away any presents, but at the same time, he's not going to work too aggressively to find a way to defend that position. So Anderson has a great opportunity in these last couple of laps to get his and the team's first podium position. Just seen on my timing screen, and now we see on the screen, no investigation necessary concerning the incident between Victor Davidovsky and Tom Coronel. So Coronel will be radioed by his team. No need to worry about this one. It is just a race to the flag. And now Tom, he will make no mistake. He will want this podium place. He'll be aware that Kobe Powell's is out of the race. It's the championship, come what may. So let's see if Tom Coronel and Victor Anderson, who's got the sharpest elbows in the final few laps of this race. It is the ComTu Racing Audi versus the MAGP Lincoln Co. The experienced Tom Coronel versus the rookie Victor Anderson, fighting for that bottom step of the podium as Ruben Volt and John Philippi continue unimpeded at the front of the field. Lap 13 and 14 then, folks. The 2023 season is winding down to its dramatic conclusion as Anderson now to the inside. Coronel does not defend. Victor Anderson takes that place away. Can Coronel sneak back up the inside? Decides better of it, does the Dutch driver. Gave that position, I think, reduced the risk to allow Victor Anderson past, I believe. I saw the indicator light flashing on Coronel's car. Whether that was a bit of a Morse code message to Anderson that you're free to attack. I am not going to defend. I am not going to put myself in a position of risk from Coronel, and that's intelligent driving from the Dutch veteran. Moves Anderson up to the bottom step of the podium. Still the points that Coronel needs for the championship. Great driving as we hit the final lap of the race, the final lap of the season, the last lap of 2023, the final lap of Franco Girolamo being the reigning champion, because in just a minute or so's time, we're going to crown a brand new champion in TCR Europe, arguably a fan favourite, a driver that pretty much, if you think touring cars, you can imagine Tom Coronel is somewhere in that thought process. He's coming to this season, every bit of him focused on TCR Europe. Last year was a dual campaign. He was racing pretty much everything, anytime, everywhere. But this year, full focus on the TCR Europe 2023 Championship. He's raced against very strong teammates, an incredibly talented field of drivers, experienced and lightning fast rookies alike. He's led it almost from day one. And Coronel has just a few corners to go to be crowned what I am absolutely certain will be a very, very emotional championship. So here we go now into the final part of the track, the difficult, the can't see a hairpin. Lewis Brown again defending from Nico Baldan. Baldan will look for the switchback, try to get the acceleration off of the corner, use all the racetrack and a little bit more for good measure as Baldan makes one final charge. He has the outside line I'm seeing through my commentary box window, but Ruben Volt through the final corner. He is about to approach. For the last time in 2023, we call a race winner in TCR Europe, and that race winner is ALM Motorsports, and Ruben Volt takes the flag and the victory. John Philippi in second position, a debut podium for Victor Anderson in third, and Tom Coronel is the 2023 TCR Europe champion. Incredible stuff. For the last race of the season, another race victory for Ruben Volt. Drama even before the red lights extinguished on the timing gantry at the start of this race. Kobe Powles will be devastated. His championship challenge ended before it really had an opportunity to begin. But on the racetrack, our TCR Europe drivers, like we come to expect, it's fair to say, delivered a sensational show for everybody, trackside and at home, in what has been a sensational season of motor racing, touring car racing. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, touring car racing is where it's at, and TCR is the category for touring car racing, and TCR Europe once again delivers another sensational year. And that man, car number 34, eat my dust, Tom Coronel often says, and everybody has eaten that dust this year, because he is our 2023 TCR Europe Series champion. 51 years old, a driver with over 30 years touring car experience, a man that knows how to pedal beat a touring car, beat a Formula car, at the Dakar, through the dunes. If it's got an engine and wheels, Tom Coronel can drive it as fast, if not faster, than anybody in the world. And now, finally, after years of trying, racing for privateer teams, always been the fan favourite underdog, Tom Coronel gets his reward. He will take the overall championship trophy for the very first time. John Philippi, teammate, celebratory flash of the lights behind. What a result. And there are our race results on screen. Ruben Volt, John Philippi and Victor Anderson of the final podium of 2023. Our newly crowned champion, Tom Coronel, is fourth, ahead of Nico Baldad. Lewis Brown in sixth from Pepe Arreola. Levente Lesonche, best result of the season, in eighth. Ruben Fernandez in ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is Mauro Cuestamacchia on debut. In 11th position, Daniel Kichenko, having served that drive-through penalty. Victor Davidovsky, having unceremoniously exited the race earlier on, crosses the line in 12th. And then Kobe Powell's, unfortunately, retires. And here are provisional drivers' points. Tom Coronel is the new champion from John Philippi, second at the flag. Kobe Powell's third position will be dejected, I am sure, but he is the rookie champion. Victor Davidovsky in fourth position as well. Another great season for ComTU Racing. Another full sweep of all the trophies for ComTU Racing. But really, where all eyes are going to be focused, let's watch this for a moment, because I'm pretty sure that Tom Coronel is going to celebrate in the finest style possible. I'm delighted that I can see that directly in front of my commentary box window. Hopefully we'll see it on the screen as well. Tom Coronel knows how to celebrate, it fares to be said, and I think there'll be more than a few tears shed for our new champion over the course of this race. It means the world to Coronel. Incredible stuff. He's out of the car already. We're looking at Ruben Volt, but we need to be seeing Tom Coronel because he's our new champion. That's what we're interested in. Ruben Volt's took the win, but Coronel's taken the championship. And there is Tom Coronel, wife and son. The Dutch flag are waving. There's going to be the biggest smile you have ever seen under that bright yellow helmet. I am absolutely sure. He has waited so long. He's been at the top of his game for so many years, but never the championship. Ruben Volt smacks the top of the Honda as well. He's satisfied with a very nice day. Work indeed. Race victory, second of the championship. Second racing weekend in a row that Ruben Volt has taken a win. He's getting better and better every time he sits in a touring car. But look at the Tom Coronel. He's been better and better every time he sits in a touring car for the last 30 years. Great stuff, great scenes here at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Matthias Vettel just giving him his water bottle there. Matthias, of course, has raced this car this season. But Ruben Volt's been favoured for the end of the year, and the 17-year-old rewarding the faith of Martin, Matthias and the whole ALM Motorsport team by constantly showing the racecraft, the speed, the skill, the tenacity that marks this young man out as a champion of the future without any shadow of a doubt. Quick drink. Get the Kumo cap on there as well before we do the podium celebrations. Good result for Matthias Vettel, but this is the story of the race. We came into this one with two drivers separated by 8 points in the championship charge. Kobe Powell's day was done before it even began, and it was just down to the TCR Europe field to send off the season in the finest way possible. Daniel Kichenko started his race a little bit earlier than everybody else. A drive-through penalty was his reward. Contact between the ComTU teammates, no further investigation necessary. Tom Coronel, though, that was the safety car. That was his opportunity to take stock of what he needs to do to take the championship now that Kobe Powell's is down pit lane. Once we went green flag racing once again, we had battles all the way through the field. Lewis Brown using all of the racetrack and a bit of the gravel. Pepe Arreola was one of the drivers on home soil that was fighting hard all the way through the race. But when the checkered flag fell, it fell on this man, Ruben Volt. Car number 127, ALM Motorsport, the new Honda Civic Type R FL5 TCR, was the one that finished in first position. But look at this, beautiful sportsmanship. Coronel celebrating, massive respect between Tom and Kobe. Kobe comes out there to make sure he's one of the first to congratulate Coronel, and Coronel, massive sportsman as well, goes in there. He's been helping. There's a genuine friendship there. There's Kobe's mum as well, no doubt absolutely distraught that the season comes to an end. But Coronel, he is our champion, and this will be the largest Coronel jump the world has ever seen. I am absolutely sure when he heads on to that podium to receive his trophy. The plaudits and the applause of the fans watching trackside and watching at home, celebrating what has been a masterclass of professionalism, speed, controlled aggression, and knowing how and when to push to score the maximum points is Coronel. Showing all of that experience, but let's not. We overplay the experience angle because he's been around for so long. He's as quick today as he was when he began his touring car career. Very fast driver, and also now coupled with some very intelligent racecraft as well. In a few moments then, we're going to welcome our drivers to the podium, making their way up the steps. Parc Fermé is directly below the podium here at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. No doubt there'll be a million people wanting to shake their hands on the way up, but here we go now. I can see through the commentary box window, the door is open. The announcer is just calling who's coming out. And it will be, of course, our third place finisher, Victor Anderson, for the very first time in TCR Europe. Outstanding to see the young Swedish driver has managed to get a result on the board at long last. Pace and skill of Anderson and team at MAGP thoroughly deserve to end the season with a trophy and a podium. John Philippi in second position, and then for the second time this year, Ruben Volt at the top step of the podium. And MAGP, sorry, not MAGP, ALM Motorsport, another race victory. And then our champion, Tom Coronel, ever the showman. Fantastic sportsman and ambassador for touring car racing, and a thoroughly deserving champion. The national anthem for our race winner. In a few moments' time, we'll have the trophies, and all is left for me to do is to say thank you so much for being with us in TCR Europe in 2023. We've had highs, lows, tears of celebrations, tears of misery, but it has been an incredible product on track. We have thoroughly enjoyed bringing you all of the action as it happens, and we cannot wait to see you all again in 2024. Follow us, TCR Europe, on social media for news and excitement around the year ahead. And from myself and everybody at the team, take care, thank you very much, and bye-bye.